The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome to the Support Local Everything podcast, a podcast of the Upward Niagara Chamber of Commerce. I'm Chamber President Jennifer Pauley, and we just came off of a great weekend. Having July 4th on a Thursday makes the entire week last week just feel like a, Twilight Zone kind of. We were at work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The 4th celebration, there was all kinds of things happening throughout the region. And then, of course, comes that Friday. What do? Do you work? Do you have the day off? Then the Saturday, Sunday, and we're here on Monday. It was quite a weekend. There were a lot of events happening. Specifically, the Old Fort Niagara had a great weekend, great weather weekend for their big event. There were fireworks on July 4th. In Academy Park in the village of Lewiston was the Farmers Artisan Market. They had a summer festival. Such a great weekend, and back Monday morning is a tough morning to get back into it. But we are here with the Town of Porter Supervisor, DuffyJohnston, ready to talk about Summerfest in the Town of Porter. If you're not aware of what Summerfest is, it is a great family-filled event at Porter on the Lake Park in Youngstown. And it is a day full of activities for the entire family, from children to adults, entertainment, children's activities, food, craft festival, craft fair, vendors, and then, of course, it ends the evening with fireworks. So, Town of Porter Supervisor Duffy, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we have this event scheduled every year. I think there was a year with COVID we didn't have it, but it's been going on for over a decade already. This event is a highlight of the summer. It's always held in July, and it is such a great family-filled event. So tell us a little bit about Porter on the Lake Summerfest this year and who our headliner bands are and what to expect.
It's first of all, it's always the third Saturday in July. We'll always stay that way, and I thank the Chamber for helping us with that. You don't put anything else on in Lewiston and that, so we kind of have our day to ourselves. This year we have an opening band that's Artificial Hip, tribute to Strictly Hip, and then J.B. Aaron, a Nashville star. So he's going to come on at 6:30.
How fun. So the event starts at 3, goes until about 10 o'clock, and we have it timed perfectly where fireworks seem to happen at dusk, and it just so happens where music is throughout the day. J.B. Aaron starting at 6:30, and he generally will end just as the fireworks happen. It's been such a great choreographed event over the years that it's happened rain or shine. So we're looking forward to that great music coming up.
Yeah, and just before he ends, we try to time it with the skydivers come in from Skydive the Falls. And we have some patriotic music going on, and these guys fly in. That's always a blast to see them fly right into the park. And then the fireworks will start with patriotic music, and the evening ends. But there's a lot going on before that.
Definitely. So people can expect to pay $5 at the door. That's for adults, but children 12 and under are free. And what does the $5 go towards? I know working the front fence area when people are coming in, the cars are coming in, nobody complains about the $5, but sometimes somebody questions, what is this for? What do all the proceeds to the admission charge go towards?
Everything, all the money we make, even on the liquor sales, vendors and that, it all stays right in the park. It goes to improvements to Porter on the Lake. There's a lot of upkeep, different things to do. Last year we added metal on the outside of all of our buildings. It used to be T111, it kind of looked rough. So we had metal put on the outside. We just tried to dress it all up. But all the money stays right at the park and goes for improvements.
Sure. And off of the park improvements, I can tell you over the past 15 years I've been with the Chamber, there have been many improvements made to that park, from the playground to last year there was a fitness in the park. What do you call it? It's kind of like an obstacle course put in right there at the park. There's been so many improvements. The pavilion has been a great place to host events. So tell us a little bit more about some of those other improvements that have happened, especially the fitness in the park. We just did a ribbon cutting for that about a year ago.
Yep. That's an outdoor fitness center. It's only the only one around in Western New York. It's designed to any age, any athletic ability that you can use anytime. There's a square there that you can learn how to do the exercises. The Nature Fitness Trail is another thing that starts on the south side and goes through the woods. And when you come out, then there's pull-up bars, there's push-up bars, there's monkey bars. And it's a nice walk through the woods. We had an Eagle Scout build a bridge over a creek for us, and then another Eagle Scout came in for his project and put up 26 birdhouses through there. And it's a true nature trail walk, and it's probably about just less than a mile, but you can exercise on that. That came out really, really nice.
Such a great park. It's very easy to get to. So a lot of people don't realize where Dietz Road is. It's off of Lake Road, Route 18. I guess the easiest way to describe it is take the Niagara Scenic Parkway all the way to the end. Make a left and you're pretty much right there, just down the road from Niagara Frontier Golf Course. Before it was Porter on the Lake Park, some people had known it in a different realm. It was owned by Hooker.
And then went to Occidental, so it's Oxy on the lake. After Hooker on the lake, it's right next door to 4 Mile Creek State Park. A lot of the campers do walk over. There's a trail there and come over and use our facilities. We put a nice parking lot at the end of Dietz Road. That's another large improvement that we did. Just gives you a little bit more room with the lake access. We have lake access down there too. So.
Yes. One thing to note is during Summerfest, unfortunately, the lake access is closed for the Porter on the Lake Festival, and that's mainly because of safety reasons, but the fireworks, our firework company is setting up, right?
Yes.
That's where the fireworks are put off.
At the end of Dietz Road, so we block it off. You can only enter the park through the gate that you pay your entry fee. There still is a gate that you can walk down to the beach, but it's just away from the fireworks. It's just a safety issue, and our fireworks are phenomenal. They're just as good as anybody's on the 4th of July.
Yes, we use Skylighters.
Skylighters,
and
yeah.
they've been
Matt
doing
Shaw.
it for a while. Yeah, Matt and his crew are excellent. I have to say the Porter on the Lake fireworks are some of the best around. They really are.
He's a very nice man, and his family comes down, and they actually spend the whole day setting up, and they have a picnic down there, and they just love the venue and coming down there, and it's so nice and cool, and right by the lake, the setup itself, he really enjoys it. I think he throws a couple extras in.
I think he does too. And it's great where they set them off. You can see them from anywhere inside Porter on the Lake Park. But the other thing is we see a lot of sailboats, a lot of boats that go right out there on Lake Ontario to watch the fireworks display because it's so beautiful, such a beautiful setting there.
Yeah, we even have a few that swim in. They anchor up and swim in and come up to grab a wine or a beer or something to eat. We have our food vendors, and we try to stay very local with that for our economy in Lewiston and Youngstown to get our local food vendors to come there too, and craft vendors also.
Yeah, so there's no coolers or carry-ins, and we say that just because we want everyone to patronize the vendors who are there. There are a variety of food vendors. A lot of local restaurants vend at this event. We have some craft vendors there. There's children activities as well, so bring the kids. 12 and under are free. There's plenty for them to do. Lots of things, not only that, but the beautiful playground is there too. All of the food and beverage sales, or all of the beverage sales, so there's beverages for ages 21 and over, all of that goes to the park improvements. So that's why we do put on the signs, no coolers and carry-ins, because we'd love for you to support, the vendors that are there spending their day, and, all of that money stays right there at the park, which is amazing.
Absolutely. This year, actually, for the kids, we have the petting zoo that the chamber helps out a lot with, bounce houses. Now we have some Ninja Turtles that are going to be walking around for a couple hours, something new, yeah. That how the kids love that, but it's really great for the children. It really is.
Yeah.
And we try to help out our nonprofits also, like our libraries, our Lions clubs, Kiwanis. Anybody who wants to come in and set up a booth to raffle something off, and that it's free to them. So if there's any nonprofits out there in our area, they're more than welcome to come and set up a tent and help them out also.
Definitely.
I believe in that.
We do have some opportunities for volunteers as well. So I know our office has been calling people to help out, and people are always willing to, but there's always more to be done. So if somebody is interested in volunteering, we have opportunities from collecting funds at the gate to setting up. I think our bar is pretty much covered. That's always the first one to be filled up, and we're grateful for all those volunteers. But even throughout the event, helping with garbage and after the event is over, it's so much fun, such a great event. But once 10 o'clock happens and the park is emptied, the rest of the work is to be done,
Absolutely.
Cleaning up afterwards. So there's always an opportunity for somebody to help.
Yes, there is. Yep. And even if it can't be all done that night, we come back the next day and make sure it's all policed properly and that. But, the help that the chamber gives us is phenomenal. And the bar staff, they're always so great and just so nice. And all the tips that they take in, they throw back into the pot that goes to Porter Island Lake is very gracious for them. And it's usually the same ones every year, and I think they enjoy it. There's always a smile on their face, and that helps us out a lot to have something like that.
Yeah, it's so funny. When we are done with 1 year, we usually get the same, people who are working behind the bar saying, make sure you sign me up for next year. I don't want to lose my spot. That's where I want to be. But it is such a great time when we're there. And the entire town council also steps in and is helps out at this. So you have a great team that really works to get everything going on. You have a lot of great volunteers to make this happen. We were just talking before we aired about the logistics that happen behind the scenes to make this event happen. Everything from ordering the beer and the wine to getting the sponsorship to the vendors to setting up where everything has to go, the electricity, the sound. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. I think people show up sometimes and they think, oh, this is a great party. But this is a year of planning in advance to get things going, leading all the way up to the day.
There's no doubt. In January, we start looking for what kind of bands we want because they book so fast. And then I know with the chamber's help, then we start soliciting our sponsors who we love, and usually the same ones every year really help us out. And that the money that they put into this is fantastic. But you try to get those earlier in the year. They only got so many write-offs and that, but it's a year-long event that you're trying to set stuff up and just remember what's going on. That's another part. You just keep checking off the boxes and moving forward, then reminding everybody. And it's an interesting project, but it's the only time we do it, once a year, and we all the funds stay right in there. So I think saving the date and working with you on that is probably the biggest thing. They moved around a couple times.
Yeah.
We did a Labor Day one back in the probably 10 years ago, and that didn't work. And finally, we have our own identity that people can cross off, say, don't have your wedding on this weekend because
Exactly.
I'm going to Summerfest.
It was tough. I do remember we had Labor Day and a couple other weekends in there where we were trying to find the best weekend to make it work. And what happened is when it gets to Labor Day, it's like that last weekend in the summer. And either everybody was going away somewhere or it was hard to book the bands and hard to get in that calendar. I think Old Fort Niagara always had a huge event that day. So I remember when, the thought process was, well, let's move it to the middle of July. It's in between a bunch of things. We have our own date, and this has worked for years now. This event is rain or shine. Fingers crossed. That's the one thing you can't control is the weather, but you can always have a backup plan should that not happen. But it is rain or shine. We've had some years where it has rained, and we still had a great time at this event.
Yeah, last year was a little iffy. A lot of things got rained out, and I don't know, Mother Nature let it go around us, and it didn't rain till right after the fireworks were done, but it looked ominous. The skies black. The attendance was down a little bit, but really never got wet until the very end. So I don't know if something around the 4 Mile Creek or river area, but it went right around us.
Yeah.
And everybody, and the skydivers came in, they got to jump. So it was good for everybody that attended, but there's nothing we can do about that, just hope.
Jason and his crew will jump no matter what, unless there's lightning or the winds are a little bit too strong. But
True.
They're great. They just do what they can. Let's talk a little bit about the sponsorship that has happened throughout the years. We have some great sponsors that are really making this thing happen, and there's been a partnership over the years with many of them. I'm just going to mention some of them here so we can really thank them for all that they've done. Modern Disposal Service has been a partner of Porter on the Lake Summer Festival for years. We want to thank them, as well as Niagara County, and our legislator Irene Myers has been really instrumental in making things happen, especially for Porter on the Lake Park. She's been a great partner for the town of Porter. Waste Management, Mark Cerrone Incorporated, they've been a partner for a long time as well. Sevenson Environmental Services, Kepo, Senator Rob Ort, Assemblyman Angelo Morinello, Hardison Funeral Homes, of course, Skydive the Falls, the Youngstown Business Association, Fox Fence, Ray's Tavern, Mawinnie Trucking, and Truesdale Trucking. Those are just a few to highlight, and a lot of these have been partners over the years.
Absolutely, right from the beginning. I mean, I've only been here, 6 years, going on 7 years, and modern. All you do is ask. I mean, from the porta potties to garbage cans to doing the signs for us, they never say no. It's anything you ask for, they give it to us, and everybody else just I think that's on their docket to donate to us, and then we get tickets out that you help with, and then I go out and deliver them, and we try to give them, depending on monetary value, we give them tickets to come in, free tickets to give to their employees, and they show up and they have a good time.
Yeah, the community really does show up for this event. It's been such a highlight over the years. I remember some of the artists. We've had bands from, I think way back in the beginning, a Shania Twain tribute band.
Shania Twain, yep.
Yeah, Shania Twain, that's what she was.
Yeah.
Yes, that was way back when it was on a Labor Day weekend, to the Strictly Hip, to 90 West. There's been so many different bands featured throughout the year.
Thurman Brothers.
Yes. Yeah.
We try to mix it up a little bit, and we're going back to a little bit of country this year with J.B. Aaron and that. And, everybody likes a different mix of music, and we try to change it up a little bit here and there, but also what people like.
Yeah.
So got our fingers crossed for the weather, but it's going to be a good one.
Yes.
As always.
And J.B. Aaron, he's played before, but he's also a Niagara County, homegrown from Niagara County. So it's nice to have a national recording artist from Niagara County area who's performed at Summerfest before come back and perform on Saturday, July 20th at 6:30. This event has been a great event throughout the years. We look forward to it every single year, and so many people make it happen. It's just been something where the community comes together and works to make the park, what it is. I think a lot of people may not realize that you can rent the pavilions at the park. The park is available for hosting everything from birthday parties to weddings have been at the park, to smaller events. Tell us a little bit about that rental process.
Yeah, if we have a main pavilion that's very, very large, a lot of weddings going on there. That's $350 to rent that. You get some money back when it's all cleaned up. We have two separate little buildings that are $50 each. You can rent the bandstand down below for $50. That's right down by the water. It's rented out all summer long, usually Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. The area is 33 acres. We have over 400 foot of beach frontage. It's just a beautiful spot, and there's anybody can do it. You don't have to be a Porter resident or anything. You just call the town hall, 716-745-3730, and ask if your date is open. I'd say try to do that like 6 or 8 months ahead of time if you're planning for something in the summer next year. And it all works out very well. It's very clean. My highway department takes care of everything very well, and it's just beautiful. You just have to pick up after yourself. That's it.
Right. There's been so many things at the park that the community has enjoyed, from renting it out for events to yoga in the park. There's just been so many different things happening there. It's great to see that. I know in my time at the Chamber, in the 15 years there's the development that has happened at that park has been really phenomenal, and that's due to the town board really making sure that this park is used and available for everybody.
Yep, and right now we have a grant that Senator Ort's office helped me with. It was a grant from 2018 that just got granted. We have $210,000 to put back into the park. We're going to put another parking lot in, resurface the basketball court that's also used as a pickleball court, and we're hoping to turn in. There's a little building, used to be the ice cream building next to the pavilion, and turn that into a restroom for handicapped and everything. It'll be a multi-sex restroom that's very, very close, so you can walk from there instead of having to walk down the path to the other one. So we're going to put the whole $210,000 back into the park. It's not going to go as far as it was in 2018, but it's very gracious for the center to help us out with that in New York State. So we're going to move forward with that. We got some good plans coming down the line.
That's exciting. So what we want to close with then is just reminding everybody that Summerfest is at Porter on the Lake Park, July 20th from 3 to 10. Come anytime during that time. When you come at 3, the artificial hip band will start right at 3, and then national recording artist J.B. Aaron will start at 6:30. Fireworks and skydiving happen. Well, skydiving will happen just before dusk. It needs to be a little bit light enough for them to see where they're jumping in. But fireworks will start around dusk, and such a great time. No coolers or carry-ins. Adults $5 right at the door. Children 12 and under are free. Lots of children's activities, lots of vendors, food, beer, and wine are available to purchase. And again, when you come and save the date for July 20th, all the proceeds go back into that park, helping to make those park improvements happening. And we thank you so much, Supervisor Duffy, for joining us. We thank the Town Council for all the work that they do. They are hard at work throughout the entire year making things happen in the town of Porter. And this is just one of the small things that happen, but it's such a fun thing to celebrate throughout the summer.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time and get me on the podcast. You thank the board and everything, but we couldn't do it without the Upper Niagara Chamber. From the posters, all the help. I know I bug you and Susie so much, but it's your worth of knowledge and everything to help me out. It makes my job a lot easier. The posters, to the signs, everything that goes on, and I thank you very much. The vendors usually show up around 1, so 1:30, 2 o'clock, the gates are open. So the more the merrier. Well,
we're excited. I have to just say, the chamber, we are always able to, whenever asked, we'll give our knowledge out to anybody. We do seem to have this great experience on running events. It's just something that our chamber office staff is very good at, and we will always lend our knowledge and help and support. The other thing you mentioned, Suzanne, got to tell you, don't forget this, Duffy. Her birthday is the day before.
Is it?
Right?
Okay.
It's July 19th. Her birthday is July 19th. So she's going to be celebrating that entire weekend. So we're going to have to make sure we incorporate some type of happy birthday, Suzanne, on July 20th. And I'm not going to say her age, but it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I understand it's a milestone.
It's a milestone birthday. So we might need to keep that on the radar. While her birthday would be the day before, I think we still need to make sure that somebody sings a happy birthday to her.
I think it's birthday week for Suzanne. So it'll
birthday month. I think I've been reminded about her birthday more than a month. But yes, she's a great coworker, and I'd be remiss if I didn't remind everybody that it's her birthday weekend. So big milestone. We'll make sure that somebody sings her. Maybe we can get JB to sing her a nice happy birthday song.
We can figure that out. There's no doubt.
Or maybe I can ask Jason. Listen, Jason, can she tandem skydive with you? I don't know. Maybe something like that. We'll just surprise her.
Yeah,
make something
like
happen.
A plan. For sure.
All right, Duffy, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. We appreciate your time. We hope everybody stops by to Porter on the Lake Park on Saturday, July 20th. It's located on Dietz Road, just off of Route 18 Lake Road. Take the scenic parkway all the way to the end. If you're coming from, Lewiston area, Niagara Falls area, take it all the way to the end, make a left, and you're right there. Not far away at all. From 3 to 10, $5 at the door. Go to upwardniagara.com for more information. Thanks for joining us today on the Support Local Everything podcast. Please share this podcast with your friends and family and anybody who would be interested. It's downloadable on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your podcasts, and also on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. That's where the podcast can be. It'll be on